Hello and welcome to another episode of Train Sim World 2, where I'm doing my best to drive virtual locomotives without causing major disaster. Or do I? Anyway, before we begin, I'd like to remind you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done that already and follow up with bell button to turn on the notifications and stay up to date with my latest content. I would also like to encourage you to join my Discord server, where you can interact with me and other of my fans, talk about games that I play in general, share some cool mods, or just chill. You can find link in description down below this video. So, welcome back. This week, instead of playing D-Ray Valley, I effectively decided to go back to Train Sim World. Why is that, you say? Well, I already bought the game, so obviously, if I bought it, I will definitely try to spend some time with this game and try to bring the best out of what I paid for. And I have to say that even though my opinions about the game haven't changed much since the last video that I made, which you can probably find in top right corner of your screen right about now. So you can hear about my first impressions of the game. They didn't change much. However, Dovetail have put up some updates in the roadmap, and they are planning to release yet more of the preserved collection tracks, which means that the old tracks from previous Train Sim World are coming back into Train Sim World 2, which is a bit of a sweetener to that bad situation. Well, bad. It's not terribly bad. The game is good, and there were some improvements, at least according to what people say. So some of those improvements are better handling during different weathers. So when the tracks are wet or covered in snow or ice, you can actually theoretically feel that on the locomotive. Finally, which was not the thing in Train Sim World. So we won't be checking that in this episode. However, it's very interesting to hear about it. And if that's the case, well, that's definitely some sort of an improvement. It's not visible enough, though, to call it like a completely different product. It still should be just an update to Train Sim World 1. Anyway, we are here already, and let's stop moaning about what should be done, what shouldn't be done. We are already in the product, so let's play the game, shall we? So, as you can see, I am now visiting Sun Patch Great, one of the most interesting tracks that were actually featured in Train Sim World 2. On this track, it's a freight line where you do a lot of shunting, a lot of freight transport, using all those heavy locomotives that you can see on American railways. So, let's continue our journey in it's second episode, however, it's third mission. Why am I starting from third mission? Well, because first two missions are effectively a tutorial on how to operate the locomotive and how to refuel the locomotive. And it wasn't super interesting, I'd say. So I decided to skip this part. Anyway, let's begin our first actual mission. So it's called Morning Delivery. Take the yard power over to yard and pull together the new inbound cars. Then take the cut over to the bowl for classification. The grand total, it should take us about 15 minutes to achieve that goal. Well, perhaps it will take us that little, or maybe it will take us a bit more. Right, we start at Cumberland Fuel Stand, and we are heading towards Cumberland Yard West. The locomotive we are going to use is SD40-2 YN3B. A grand total weight of the consist, because it's a tandem of two locomotives, is 289.6 tons, and total length of this consist is currently 41.2 yards. Right, we start at 9 well, basically it's 9:05 a.m. So let's begin our journey. So we are here in the cab of our nice locomotive. There are a few things that we need to do before we begin. However, first one is to check the map. So that's where we are. We are basically on like a approach to the roundhouse. And where we need to get is here on this siding. So I will now analyze our route from the locomotive along this turquoise line to check if all the switches are set for us, because if something is not set, we will spend additional 10 minutes maneuvering across the yard, which is not something we want. Right. So far until this point, everything seems to be... Yeah, all the switches seems to be just joining the lines, so there's no need to even switch them. They will switch as soon as we go across them. Even though I'm not sure if it's correct way to do on the railway. I think the switches should be set before you head off to not damage the switch itself. But yeah, it still shouldn't be too much of a problem. Right, this one's set, and let's head on. This one is set, and this one needs to be set. There we go. Right, now we get here. This one is set, and this one is not set, in fact. And this one is not set, so we will set this one, and we will set this one. Right, that should take us to this track. Is it? Yeah, we need to set this one. Oh, no. I mean this one. There we go. This is going to head straight. And then we turn north. Fantastic. This switch needs to be set, and this one needs to be set. Awesome. Now this one needs to be set, and this one is already set. Fantastic. And the last one, this one is set. It will take us along this track. Fantastic. Yes. And then another switch is set, and it will take us to the right siding, heading towards this consist that we need to take. Or actually we need to plug it into our locomotive and take it somewhere to this yard. Right. So with that done, let's start our locomotive. So we need to turn on the generator field, put the reverser, set it to forward, turn on our headlights. We can turn rear headlights to dim, so we are more visible. MU valve needs to be lead or dead, I think. Yeah, lead or dead. Independent brake needs to be set to release. Automatic brake needs to be released. And I think that's all the things that we need to set. Now all we need to do is to sound a horn, set our throttle, and we should be rolling forward. Fantastic. So the speed limit on the yard is 10 kilometers per hour, or 10 miles per hour in this case. So we will carry on with that speed until the new speed limit hits in 400 yards. So we will reduce our throttle to 1, and we are still speeding up. Oh, okay, 9.9, which is exactly the speed we want. There is slight gradient going down, so the locomotive will pick up some speed, but we are going to use independent brake to keep our speed in check. Oops, that was a little bit too much. Perhaps I might use dynamic brake for that. Anyway, 9.2 miles per hour. That should give us good momentum. So for now, all we have to do is wait and keep control over our speed. Until we reach our destination, there is not much else to do. Let's see. The window can be opened, but it gets loud. Okay. Yeah, traveling 1.8 mile across the yard might be a bit boring. I'm not gonna lie. 9.6. Okay, we are about to hit higher speed limits though, so it should be much better. 9.7, 9.8. Yeah, we should be able to carry on without changing our speed. 9.9. Yeah, that's perfectly fine until we hit 11. There we go. We can now set our throttle to 1, which should give us some extra momentum. I think I can turn the bell off to avoid getting annoyed by it. It really gets into your head, I guess. Okay. So we are rolling 13 miles per hour. $14 miles per hour. Okay, reverser is set to forward. Throttle to idle. Fantastic. Oh, look at this beast. Right, we are still rolling downhill, so I won't be able to maintain this picture for too long. Because obviously very soon we will have to head back into the cabin. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, we are rolling on the track. Yeah, let's get back to the cabin. Let's give it a bit of a dynamic brake. Let's put a brake force of 1. It should start slow us down, at least delicately, or delicate. Yeah, that should work. No, we are still speeding up. 14 miles per hour. Okay, I will slow down to 13, and then I will just release the brakes. I want to avoid rolling with too high speed. Come on, come on, come on. Slow down a bit. Just a touch more, or perhaps. No, it doesn't really want to slow down. Yeah, it's not slowing down. Oh well. Oh, now it's slowing down. Right, I can turn off dynamic brake. And we should now be alright. Yeah, the locomotive is speeding up just slightly. We are getting closer to our destination, which is 1.9 miles away. Oh no, it's further away. It's 1.1 mile until we hit our cargo. We are now entering the siding. That's very, very good. This mission has already took us 10 minutes. So the estimation of 15 minutes was, well, a bit of an understatement. I believe that it will take us approximately 20 to 25 minutes to complete all the tasks. I think all we need to do is to pull this consist back to to different siding. Oh, we are gradually speeding up. Oh my goodness me, the gradient has increased. Okay, okay. That was a bit of a scary moment, yeah. We hit a bit too high speed. We are now on a gradient, so I can turn the throttle on and start speeding up. Dynamic brakes, yeah, all the brakes are released, so we should be alright. The loco has slowed down gradually. Oh well. Some misperfections were expected. Thankfully we are not on tight schedule. We don't have to adhere to any sort of timetable. So as long as we don't crash, as long as we don't make too many technical mistakes, we can be a little bit slower. It happens, it's part of the game, and it's part of the learning curve. So definitely there is some practice to do in terms of this scenario in order to make it in appropriate time. Anyway, we are just entering the siding. Throttle. Oh. I am going a little bit too fast. Just by a tiny bit, but thankfully we are going uphill now, which means that the locomotive will slow down as soon as I set it to idle. And now we got safe speed of 14 miles per hour, 13 miles per hour in fact, so we can maintain that speed. And we are now on the right track. Fantastic. So it should take us very short now to actually reach the destination. I'm actually not sure why did the game gave us a tandem of 2 locomotives. Because the cargo that we are going to approach is not one of those super long trains that actually would require that much of a power. In fact, this locomotive is way too much for the job that we are being assigned. But well, I guess designers had some plan in this. Right, we are doing 14 miles per hour. The speed is just right. Okay, let's turn it to idle, and as soon as we turned idle or started coasting, the speed has dropped to 14 miles per hour. We are going slightly uphill, so that's very good, but this speed limit is definitely not helping us. $13 miles per hour. In fact, we can let it coast until the very end. It will take us slightly slower, but on the other hand, it will be much easier to stop, especially with the controls that we have in the game. Those levers seems to be pretty sensitive, so slight movement can eventually turn into very fast braking, which is not exactly what I want. I would actually prefer to slow down less rapidly and be more gentle, but it's not that easy. Right, I will turn my brake into initial reduction. Okay, 10 miles per hour. Yeah, we are rolling. Oh, there is another train. Wow, this one seems to be very long. Okay, some sort of tank or tanker trucks or cars, and there's quite a lot of them. Yeah, this one has significant length. Right, I will turn the throttle to 1. We are 470 yards away from our destination. So we are getting close. I could in fact release the brake. Okay, we are doing 10 miles per hour. That should be enough. Let's let it coast. This is the most boring part of the route, as we are just approaching our destination. Right, 280 yards. 260. 250. Okay, we are getting there. We are definitely getting there. 9.3. Okay, okay. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. 150. Okay, what's our speed? We are still doing 9.2. So that would be a good time to start braking. Yeah, and it's already 24 service. Wow. Well, so you need to start stopping. I need to reduce the speed to 5. And there we go. Ooh, it was a little bit of a punch. Wait for a moment. Let's have a look. Let's open the door. And let's inspect if the train is properly connected. It seems to be. Let's climb over. Yeah, the valve seems to be connected. Okay. I think everything is okay. Let's close the door. Let's sit down. And what we need to do is set reverser to neutral and take it. Okay. Dynamic brake off. Fantastic. Headlights front off. These ones off. Independent brake release. Automatic brake release. Lead or dead. Fantastic. Trail 6 or 26. Trail 24. Not sure. Right, let's leave it. Right, we need to step out of this locomotive and get into the second one so that we can actually see what we are doing. So let's climb down the stairs. Awesome, this one is also turned on. Okay, we are in the cabin. Fantastic. Oh. Oh, okay. So if I will switch to this locomotive, it will cancel my task. So I actually have to stay in this one, even though it obstructs my view, and I could safely do it from the other one. Oh my goodness me. This game is defying any logic. Right. So let's do it. We've lost some time, but well. Experiments actually has to be done. So headlight front to dim, headlight rear to bright, I guess. Horn on, independent brake released, throttle to 1, and we should be rolling. I said we should be rolling. Throttle to 2. Oh, there we go. We are we rolling? There we go. Oh. Oh, there we go. I failed to set. What? Come on, come on. Okay, there's still some braking. Oh, okay. It might have been brakes that were still releasing. Right. We are now rapidly speeding up. I will let the train roll out. Right. So that was a little bit of a bump on our way. I made few mistakes in terms of operating this locomotive, but well, I'm still learning. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't the greatest, but we are here. We are doing it. I will travel at slower speed because the gradient will eventually increase, and I don't really want to go over top speed. Right, let's have a look at our beautiful locomotive. So the biggest problem of this tandem is that as soon as I will jump into the front locomotive, it will cancel off the task. So the question is, why do I even get a tandem of locomotives? Because as you can see, there's not that many. There's not really that many wagons that I have to pull. So the question is, was I actually supposed to uncouple the second locomotive and take just the first one? Because there's no point to have the other one, effectively. Right, we are going slightly uphill, so I will give it a bit of a throttle. There we go. We are now picking up some speed. Lovely. That is absolutely lovely. 8.8 miles per hour. We are less than a mile away from our goal. Just look at it. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, this scenario will be much better if there would be only one locomotive. There's absolutely no need to have two of those monsters if there's only one of them needed. Especially that even the scenario is designed that if you switch the cabins, it will actually cancel out your task, which is a bit stupid. That shouldn't happen, and it should have been picked up by testers that this scenario is effectively a little bit broken. Even if that cargo would be heavy enough to eventually require two of those locomotives, it still should be designed so that player has to actually switch the cabins and look in direction of travel while traveling this locomotive. There's no point why I would remain in the cabin in the middle, having little to no visibility, if right behind me there is another locomotive, which I can basically go to, drive into the place that I need, uncouple my locomotive and jump into my rightful cabin if I need to. That's basically why you plug two locomotives in opposite directions, so you got cabins on both ways. I just don't get it why it was designed like that, but well, it still works. On top of that, I can't even operate the lights, which is a bit annoying, because effectively I got the rear locomotive that has lights turned on, and the locomotive that is now leading locomotive that has the lights turned off, which makes no sense. And as soon as I will start operating the other locomotive, the game will cancel out my scenario, which is even worse. Right, I will now jump into the cabin and introduce some braking power, even though this is the wrong brake. Okay. I will use initial reduction to... Oh. Okay, I perhaps won't use initial reduction. Or maybe. Yeah, I will need to keep my eye on the brake. I will use initial reduction now to keep my speed steady. There we go. We are in fact slowing down now, but there's a high gradient, so the wagons will start pushing on me. And now's the time to release the brakes. There we go, and now the weight of the wagons should push me fast enough to push me through this gradient. I can even introduce some throttle. In fact, a little bit more than I used to. .9 miles per hour, 7 miles per hour, so we are picking some speed. Fantastic. And oh. Wait. It just reminds me that I forgot to check the map. And yeah. Now I see it. We went the wrong way. In fact, we were supposed to go through this switch up north, and it's now switched. Oh no, we were supposed to go the other way. Right. So, quick change back. We are going forward. We are releasing the brake. We are putting up some throttle. We need to reverse from this location. Go again underneath this tunnel and go to that place. I completely forgot about it. Like, another mistake on our part. But well, that's the fun of this scenario, I guess. I let it coast right now because we are going downhill. Hopefully that will give us enough momentum. We are picking up speed quite rapidly, but we should soon go past this bridge, and now we are going uphill, so the train will start slowing down on its own. Fantastic. Okay, we are slowing down. That's good. Yeah, this guy is probably laughing at me really hard. Oh, throttle 3. Yeah, we need to give it a little bit of a push. Come on, come on, come on. I know you can do it. There we go. Okay, let it coast. Oh my goodness me, that was a huge mistake. Let's give it a little bit more push. Come on, come on, come on. The hill is not that steep. Come on. Okay, I think that's the junction. Let me just check. Yeah, that's the one. So we just need to go past this junction. There we go. Now we can turn the brakes. Switch the reverser. Release the brakes. Let's wait for the brake pipe to fill in with air. There we go. The brakes have released. Let's give it a push. And now the train should go in different direction. Oh my goodness me. Well, that was a huge mistake. I took the wrong route. And now I'm paying the price of it, the price of my time that I've spent to actually amend my mistakes. Anyway, it's all sorted now, so we should now be okay. Right, let's let it coast. Let's switch to different view. And this siding should be now set, if I see correctly. Yes, it is. Perfect. The question is, where's next marker? I need to keep an eye on that, because not all junctions are set for us. And I really don't want to go on the wrong siding. Oh my goodness me. Okay. So it's this. Okay. We are on the right siding. Perfect, perfect. So we can just roll in. We should soon get onto the right place. I think that's the one we need to stop as well. So Cumberland classification yard track 8. Yes, so that's the one. I think we are supposed to stop at this one. The loco is picking up speed, which is a little bit worrisome. I will probably have to give it a little bit of a braking power. Yeah. We are slowly picking up speed. Okay, objective completed. 0.7 miles. We need to travel across the entire junction. So I believe we might need to end on the other siding. Fantastic. Right. Oh, and we are going uphill now, so that's even better. I can give it a little bit of a throttle and balance my speed without using any brakes. Perfect. I am now just slightly losing my speed. It's not critical, but yeah, there is a little bit of a loss on my speed. I should now drop to 12. Or pretty soon it should happen. Right, 1760 points. I'm not sure how many points I require to actually successfully finish this scenario. But it's already taking us some time to do it. It's definitely much more than 15 minutes. I'd say it has already took us about half an hour. So estimation of those scenarios are way wrong. If someone thinks that it takes just 15 minutes to travel across 3 miles of track with a speed of 15 miles per hour, well, that person must be nuts. Anyway, those are small mistakes that should have been caught during testing. Another proof that this product should have been left in Dovetail's stables for a little bit longer. It should have been polished properly, and then perhaps released as a separate DLCs to update it Train Sim World instead of to a brand new product, which was rushed in terms of release. Not only that, but timing of that release was also not the greatest, as you might remember. The game was released just a week after fantastic Microsoft Flight Simulator, which absolutely destroyed any competition in terms of simulation games, and basically people have set their attention to this product. So I think that releasing a simulation game in right next to other great simulation game might have been another factor that pushed some of the sim fans away from this product. Anyway, we are approaching our designated stop, so I will switch back to the cabin. I will now turn on initial reduction on my brakes so that the train will slowly lose speed. I will now release it as we are hitting 5 miles. Yeah. Good. I'm still 60 yards away. I'm really tempted to actually pull this train a little bit further. Perhaps when I reach 10 yards, I should release the throttle and start reversing. Okay, let's release the throttle. Let's introduce the brakes. Here we are. Objective completed. Cumberland classification yard track 11. So let's see. Track 11 is this one. So let's check the switches. Obviously they are not set. So this one is not set. This one is set. This one is set. We are here. Okay, fantastic. So we should end up on the right track. So let's go back. Reverser forward. Brake released. Throttle is still idle. But the train should now be released. Okay, fantastic. I will now push those wagons back onto the siding. Another mile, effectively 960 yards, so that's almost a mile, if I remember correctly. Fantastic. Four miles per hour, come on, come on. 5 miles per hour. Yeah, we don't need that much speed, but obviously this scenario is taking us longer than I expected. I'm actually surprised. It's like it takes us awfully long amount of time. Like scenario that was predicted to take 15 minutes, even without my small mistake, would have taken us like 30 minutes. Okay, let's count that I lost 3 minutes on my mistake, where I had to basically reverse, flick the switch and get back. So that was like 3 to 5 minutes, isn't it? I pretty much quickly found the root of the problem and managed to fix it. So even with extra 5 minutes, that's still already 35 minutes on the task. That is awfully long, I have to admit. Like, wow. It actually takes forever to get it sorted. I'm not gonna lie. Right, we are 500 yards away from our destination. We are moving at the speed of 12 miles per hour. Let's let it coast. And let's let this train roll onto the siding. 460 yards. We are doing 13 miles per hour. $400 yards. $350 yards. $300 yards. Okay, we are almost there. $200 yards. Okay, yeah. 13 miles per hour. 14 miles per hour, in fact. So the train is picking up the speed, mostly because I'm going downhill. I should be okay to start slowing down really soon though. So I'm not too worried about my speed. 40 yards, okay, that might be a good time to turn on. Oh, yikes. I went past by 20 yards, okay. Uncouple vehicles. Right, perhaps emergency brake is not exactly the right amount of braking power. Right, let me close the door. Let's climb down. Right, now, coupler. Unlocked. Okay, it's uncoupled now. The cars are stopped. Let's climb back. Objective is completed. Fantastic. Let me sit down on my luxury chair. Let's reverse. Let's leave it on initial reduction. Let's check our junctions first. So we are here. We need to reverse back onto this place where we've been before pulling into this siding. Okay, so everything should be now set. Throttle 1, that should be more than enough to get us rolling. Okay, brake is released and we are rolling. Just turn off the bell. There we are, 770 yards. That's all we need, and we should be good to finish this scenario. Because that was, I think, the last task on our list. Right, so that was pretty much the first scenario on Sand's Great Patch. I'm not sure how to comment on that. Well, definitely when it comes to indicated time that's potentially needed for this scenario, it's definitely way longer than 15 minutes. It's closer to like 30-35 minutes, even without any mistakes. Well, 30 minutes might be a bit of exaggeration. I think we are closer to like 40 minutes scenario, because the distances are very, very long. It's not because there is a lot of various tasks to do. We've just did a couple of things, but traveling 2 miles or almost 2 miles of a distance on a track that has 15 miles per hour speed limit is definitely not helping us a lot. That's definitely way too slow, or at least it doesn't feel like we are traveling fast enough in the game. Anyway, another issue is my lack of experience with that locomotive. So definitely there were some operational mistakes that I did. I'm absolutely sure that there will be some rail fans or people that actually drive those locomotives that will point out multiple mistakes that I make, multiple technical mistakes that I make. Well, it will be definitely nice to hear your advices on how to operate those locomotives. Unfortunately, not every single thing is available in the game. And I also don't tend to use those keyboard shortcuts, or at least I try to use them as little as possible in internal view at least. When I'm playing in external view, well then obviously I'm using them a little bit more. But I really like to turn all those switches. Right, 90 yards, we are almost there. 60 yards. Right, we can now start to introduce some braking power. And we are stopped. And the service is completed. Right, so that was a morning delivery. We managed to score a gold medal, which I found hilarious. We did a couple of mistakes, as you can see by the graph. We did go above the speed limit at least 3 times, well, 4 times in fact, but this one doesn't really count. So definitely there is some field of improvement. I could be much more stable on my speed if I will find out how to operate this locomotive at more stable speed. And definitely the time that it took us was 3 times longer than predicted. So again, I would say that at least 40 minutes is needed to complete this scenario. I did make one mistake. I had to actually reverse completely, which definitely pushed me back in terms of time taken. Other than that, it was really nice and interesting scenario. Definitely there is some challenge to take, and definitely at some point I will be coming back to this one. Until then, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like and subscribe. If you want to get informed about my new content, other videos from other games, like for example D-Ray Valley, which I'm also featuring on Fridays, whenever there is some content to feature, because recently the game was pretty silent. That's why I'm sharing some time between D-Ray Valley and Transport Fever. Train Sim World. I also do Transport Fever too, in fact. So there is multiple games that I play. So come and visit my channel. Check out my Discord server, which is linked down below the video. And well, have a good day and see you all later. Later. Out.